It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Connecticut Whales NWHL hockey player, Mariah Fujimagari. How are you doing today?
Hi, Brandon. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the Sports Talk.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional hockey?
Yeah, absolutely. So, growing up, I always had a dream to play at the highest level. I remember fondly just having just yearbooks and writing, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my first response was always to be a pro hockey player. And, although at my age when I was growing up, we didn't have a vision of what that looked like, I always just knew I wanted to make it come true. And lo and behold, now we're here and there's a professional league for us to play at the highest level and for us to compete at that level too. So, I always knew that I wanted to be a professional hockey player from a young age because I just loved the sport. I was so passionate about it from a young age, and I wanted to continue playing in every possible area that I could. So, it was just whatever environment I could be around where there was people who were just as committed and dedicated as I was. That's exactly, the environment that I wanted to be a part of and also contribute towards to continue to pave that pathway for the younger girls as well.
That's amazing. What did you accomplish at Maine University while playing hockey?
Yeah, so when I was at the University of Maine, I was there for 5 years. My first year, I was a red shirt, and I also played on a U18 team, men's team out there as well, to get some more game experience and just utilize my time when I was out there. I would say, there were so many incredible experiences. I was there for 5 years, right? It's such a pivotal time in anybody's life is to be in college, and to be a student athlete, it was just that much more incredible. Each year there was different experiences and it shaped me into being the person that I am today. And there was a lot of different, adversity and different things that you have to just, triumph and build your character through. And there was a lot of unity within the team as well that was always, fostered from our coaching staff and just from our unit and the group as self. We were just such a tight knit group, and it was incredible to play college there, having it be a Division I school and all the sports be at that highest level. It was incredible to be on the campus where there was just a lot of student athletes. At the same time, hockey is predominantly the main sport there at UMaine, so it's legendary to play there, for the women's or men's team. So it was incredible.
What was the feeling like whenever you put on your Maine's jersey for the first time?
Oh, my main jersey. Well, it was a huge, suspense building up because, like I said, I had that first year where I was just purely training. I was just, in a lot of goalie sessions, lifting constantly, and I didn't have to be game ready. So once I finally, stepped into my true freshman year and I was able to put on that jersey, it was just, a dream come true. And also to play wearing the number, I should say, 27, which is a legacy number in my family. It was just such an honor to be able to put on that Black Bears jersey and be able to represent not only, the University of Maine and the state of Maine, but also, just the journey that I had endured and gone through to be able to get there.
What was your playing time at Bavar?
In Bratislava.
Yes.
Yes. When I was in, you know, Europe, I always knew that I wanted to go overseas after playing at the University of Maine. And my time there, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It was such a new experience. Everyone pretty much spoke Slovak, which is their native language. Only a few girls actually spoke some English and were bilingual in that. And so it really, it made me realize that hockey unites us all. When we stepped on the ice and we were sharing laughs in the locker room, and, we would just have that commonality of all being so passionate and so driven about hockey. We realized that that was going to be the thing that united us. And beyond that, it was just, there were so many great memories made when I was over there. We were able to travel to a lot of different countries, which was so different, playing in the US, where we're just constantly in the same, kind of Northeast area. It was so different because we're constantly around new environments, and it was such an incredible experience to realize, like I said, that hockey unites us all. And at the same time, there's so many people around the world who are so passionate about hockey and playing the sport. And it made me realize, and connect to that much more.
What was your time like playing in the CWHL with the Worcester Blades?
Yeah. So when I played with the Worcester Blades, it was all about pushing my limits. A lot of the other teams had national team girls on their team, and they were powerhouses. When we were playing, in Worcester that first year, it was all brand new because we had transitioned from being the Boston Blades into Worcester. And so we were developing in that new city, and the city was so supportive of us getting off the ground. And, our GM and coaching staff were just so incredible to be able to create this environment for us to go into every game with a winning attitude and with just enjoying the game. We didn't win one game the whole entire season. So you'd think that that would just diminish the morale. But at the end of the day, we just went into every single period and played our best. And for me, sometimes that was, getting 60 plus shots a game. And it was just having the puck in your zone the whole entire time. So it was a lot different than what I was used to playing in Europe the year before. Because the year before we were, more of the powerhouse in the league. And then I came over to North America and was playing in the CWHL, where we had such challenges every single game, but we overcame them. And we were just such a tight-knit group. We had so much fun. We traveled to China and we played overseas there for a couple weeks. And it was an experience of a lifetime to play in such a legendary league such as the CWHL, and especially at a pivotal point when, it had folded just that year after. So yeah, it was amazing.
What was it like playing your rookie year for the team Dipsy?
So when I got, selected for the All-Star game to be on Team Dempsey, it was honestly just such an honor to, represent for, Jillian Dempsey. She's such a hard worker. She's, legend, breaking 100 points. She's someone who's a trailblazer for sure in our, league, in the world for women hockey. And to be selected for her team and to be able to win my event with skating, and then also us win the game as well. It was just a remarkable experience. And the NWHL just put it on as such a professional, event. And we really felt like pros. And it was so cool to be a part of the All-Star experience, because you get to see girls from all different teams, that you usually are rivals with, but you're actually teammates for the weekend. So it's a lot of good laughs. It was a great time. And, I was happy that we came out with the win in both things. So it was great.
What was it like to sign your first professional contract with the Buffalo Beauts?
Well, it was definitely a full circle. I'd been training with Mandy Cronin from the age of like 15, and originally, from the GTA, Greater Toronto area. And, just for us to have so many commonalities. She had played at the University of Maine. She had put on, the Blades jersey. And then for us to then take that, next step where she was going to be my GM, and she wanted me to be the first goaltender signed on that team. It was just such a privilege, and it was just really, really special for it to come full circle like that. And I felt like no better place than to play for the Beauts. And it gave me an opportunity to play close to home as well, which after a long period of time, 5 years at the University of Maine, and then playing overseas, and then playing in Massachusetts, it was, it felt right to come to be close to home and have my family members be able to come out to the games and support that as well. So that was really special.
What was the feeling like whenever you put on your first Buffalo Beauts jersey with your name on the back in the Carolina bluish colors?
Oh, well, blue is my favorite color here, Brandon. So, for me, it was amazing because I got to play for the NWHL, and for me, that's the equivalent for the, whole world. That's the equivalent to the NHL, right? That's the highest, degree that you can play at. And to put on a jersey and for it to also be blue, it was just an extra, cherry on top and bonus. But for me, it was really, it was about dedication. It was about hard work. It was about resilience. It was about, just belief in myself and trusting the process that, with all my hard work and dedication and growth towards my game and towards, becoming the best hockey player that I could be, it all paid off. And, that was just the start of a new chapter for me to be able to put on that jersey for the first time and obviously, continue playing professionally. So,
What was it like to transfer over from being a Buffalo Beauts to now signing with the Connecticut Whales?
yeah, I think that, with us having 6 teams in the league, there are a lot of girls who cross over to various other teams. And for me, it was just the right decision. I really aligned with the core values that Connecticut, has. And for me, it was all about that connection, being a part of an organization that has the same vision that I do and something that I can honestly contribute towards with all of my commitment, all of my enthusiasm and leadership and, being vocal, just a lot of things that we were really aligned on in terms of, core values and where they wanted to take the organization and what I was there to contribute. And so for me, it was just a natural transition after speaking with, Laura and Coach Colton and Amy last season. It was just, it felt right. So I was happy and proud to do that.
What was it like to trade in the blue jersey for the green Connecticut Whales jersey?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just colors, right? So for me, it's cool to have, different colors for different setups and things like that. But at the end of the day, I want to be in an environment where I'm going to be able to push myself and push my teammates to be the best that we can all be. So, if it's blue, green, red, whatever the color is, I fully embrace it. Obviously, blue is my favorite color. But at the end of the day, I just want to be a part of an organization that really, aligns in terms of where, the vision is. So I was proud to do so.
What was that feeling like whenever you put on your first game jersey and for media day?
For the Connecticut Whale?
Yes.
For the Connecticut Whale, it was a long time coming. It felt like because we were in this such a unique situation with having the lockdown and all these different protocols because of the pandemic. And I think for all of us, it was really special. We're so used to having a game every weekend and we get to put on that jersey and we get to, gear up for game time. But with a year such as last year, right, we had that condensed schedule. And so that media day was actually the first time that, we were putting on that jersey. And then obviously we had a couple just different games that we had inter-team games that we were able to put that on as well. But it's really special when you get to gear up for those game day feelings. That's what we live for as competitive athletes, is being able to get ready for game day, be able to, compete against our competitors. And for me, it was really special because we had a whole year basically off. It was coming up to. And so to be able to put on that jersey and, get started on those game day vibes, that was awesome.
What was the typical game day like with the Buffalo Beauts and now with the Connecticut Whales?
Yeah, I think at the professional level, we all, start at the same foundation. We do what we need to do to compete at the level we need to compete at, right? We're not just going through the motions. We're really being deliberate about what it is that we need to do for that game day preparation. And that's a lifestyle, right? It's what you're eating, what you're, hydrating with, what you're doing for your sleep, your nutrition, for your mental, you know, toughness and capacity and things like that. We're doing all the right things to be able to prepare for game day. So I think, at the pro level, it comes down to more of a individual basis on what you need to do to be ready for the team and to be able to, pull out the win for that night. And I think across teams, there's a lot of similarities. People playing, keep ups or, just different things to get them ready. And, for me, I personally have my own routine, and then that it is what it is. It's game day. It's time to compete, and you put everything else aside and you go out there and get the win.
What are some of your game day rituals that you have?
Yep. So for me, it's a whole process. I, like to get my head right. I watch film. I make sure that I go through my journal from all of my notes that I take on that week's practice or goalie sessions. I listen to music. I always love listening to, a few of my favorite songs to just get me in the zone before I even get on the bus or get to the rink. And then I have a few, different things that I do once I get to the rink, and, then it's game time. So,
Who are some of the players that you look up to in the league?
some of the players that I would say that I look up to are definitely, the vets, people who have been a part of the league for 6 going on 7 years. For me, last year, it was Shannon Doyle. I mean, the way that she just was such a professional. She was just such a great captain. She was able to, demand more of players once she stepped on the ice, but also, kick it back and have a good laugh as well in the locker room and keep that nice, easy feeling before we jump out on the ice. She was definitely someone that I admire, and someone who's a role model for me. Dempsey, it's amazing to see what she's done in her career accomplishments and just the things that she does in the community as well. And just to know her as a person, I mean, she's incredible. Yeah, I mean, the list could go on and on. There are definitely a lot of people in the league who hold their own, who are amazing trailblazers for women's hockey, and people who just go on and, are doing amazing things on and off the ice. So,
What is it like to play with your teammates like Madison Bishop and other ones like Victoria?
yeah, I would say, our team dynamics last year was so special. To go through a year, as I was saying earlier, where, there's so much uncertainty and there's such a lack of games that we're so used to, right? We're so used to having that competitive edge, and we're so used to going into game day every single weekend. And for us not to have that, it was an uncertain year for sure. But I think that the way that Coach Colton, had his practices scheduled out, and Coach Laura as well, it was just set up in a way where we were able to be competitive. We were able to continue to grow. We were able to, be a tight knit group on and off the ice, and to be teammates with, all of those girls. It was really special because it's kind of one of those environments where, it's a safe space. You're looking around the locker room and, you got that camaraderie going on. And once you step out on the ice, it's like, okay, it's down to business. We're looking to get better. We're looking to compete for that Isabel Cup. And, at the end of the day, Coach Colton really gave us that great chance to be able to, execute at our highest day in and day out and get better. And in a year such as that, I think that it's really important because, we don't have typical games. So it was important that we were competing every single night that we stepped out on that ice for practice.
What was it like to play in Lake Placid this year?
Yeah, so to be in Lake Placid, I mean, it was a dream come true for the NWHL to have games for us, to host that, bubble simulation, for us to be able to be there and be professional athletes and get to compete for those 2 weeks, really condensed schedule. For me personally, I was able to be on the ice with, various different teams, being the e-bug for the tournament. So it allowed me to be on the ice, 3 times a day, which was a true dream come true, which was awesome. I think, we all would have loved to play even more games than what we got to, but at the end of the day, it was an incredible experience. And I was just so proud that the NWHL was able to put it together in the way that they did in the circumstances that we faced last season.
Of course, as you said, you were the e-bug for the league during the bubble. What was that time like for you, knowing that you were transitioning from teams to teams and not just staying with Connecticut Whales?
Yeah, for me, it's just trusting the process and just enjoying the journey. I mean, not many times in your life do you get to be an e-bug for the whole league. And I think that, in that circumstance where everyone was playing, a game a day, or, you got one day off kind of thing, our bodies were under extreme stress. So I just trusted in my body for, being able to push through the endurance of it, and just looked at every opportunity and tried to maximize it, whether I was on the ice with, Minnesota, or I was on the ice with Connecticut. It was just, okay, I'm here to stop the puck and get better and be a better goaltender, and also, improve those around me. So at the end of the day, I was just honored to, be a part of the NWHL. Every year that you get to be a part of the league, it's a great accomplishment. And so, I just pride myself in being a hard worker and, executing at a high degree whenever I'm on the ice.
What are some of your future plans when it comes to your playing career?
Yeah, for my personal playing career, I expect to get better every single year. I'm just on a relentless pursuit to just be the world's best female goaltender. And so I'm going to stop at nothing, and I'm just going to continue to get better every single year. And I think that, you see that in my game on and off the ice. And, I just hold myself to a really high standard to be excellent in everything that I do and continue to get better and continue to grow. I think that being a student of the game is a huge component, and, being resourceful, being a female hockey player, we continue to get more resources, but at the end of the day, it comes down to us. It comes down to our own discipline and how we show up, during these times, like right now during off season. And right now I'm training 6 days a week. I have 3 workouts every single day. I'm doing specific goalie training, also doing, mental toughness training as well with my mental coach. There's just, it's a whole lifestyle approach. And so for me, my hockey career, I expect to win the Isabel Champions. I expect to win the Isabel Cup many times and be an Isabel champion, and just continue playing and growing the game for all the young girls out there, and just show them, what's possible. And I think that the best way to do that is just to put out the best product on the ice. And that's what I expect of myself.
That's wonderful. What advice would you give college players looking to make it into professional hockey?
Yeah, college players looking to make it into professional hockey, it's a big jump. Obviously, we saw it done by a lot of girls last year in the league. And I think that it's just important to see what team aligns with your goals. It's so important to be in an environment where it's going to foster your growth. You're going to also be able to contribute. And it's just really, really important to enjoy the game. I think that at a certain level, especially when you're playing college, you're under so much stress, right? You're a student athlete. You have so many different classes and responsibilities, and you're juggling so many different things. And playing pro, it's a whole other ball game, because we have a lot of, this autonomy where we develop our own schedules, and we have late night practices, and you're most of the time working a full-time or maybe 2 jobs at the same time. So it's a whole other ball game, and definitely, encourage everyone to continue playing if that's what their heart desires. And, the NWHL is the best place to do that.
What advice would you give current and future players looking to make it into professional hockey?
I would say, for those young girls who are dreaming of making it into professional hockey one day, just keep getting better, keep having fun at what you're doing. The biggest part of it is just having passion for the game. Every day that I get an opportunity to go to the rink, I'm even lighting up just thinking about it. It's just, it's such a pleasure to be on the ice. It's just so much fun to be able to analyze your game, self-reflect, see how you can get better, constantly, watching the NHL games, rewatching our games, just constantly looking at areas where I can be a better goaltender. And so I just advise the young girls just to enjoy what you're doing. Constantly be a sponge and absorb whatever your coaches and your mentors are telling you. Definitely keep a journal because it helps with reflecting and also looking back and learning on specific things. So then you can really keep track on your trajectory and also how far you've come, because I think that's a huge part. And, just continue to enjoy the game. And I think that's the most important thing.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
So on social media, my Instagram handle is my first name and my last name, Mariah Fujimagari. So MariahFujimagari. And then I also have a website, and I train hockey athletes and families on developing healthier eating habits and lifestyle habits for faster success on and off the ice for better energy, focus, and performance. And you can find that at youngeliteathletes.com. That's youngeliteathletes.com. And I love to connect with anyone. If you'd like to send me a ping on DM, then I'd be more than willing to jump on a quick chat with you, whether you're a young girl and wanting to continue the game and want a little bit of advice, or if you just want to chat.
Thank you again, Mariah Fujimagari, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Connecticut Whales.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being on this show.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on Brandon Sports Talk on YouTube too. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Mariah Fujimagari, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.